I don't know, I get really emotional when I start talking about this. Walking down the street, it's a pretty nice night out. The weatherman said it was going to be really ugly. I wish you would call me. No, man, I don't have any cigarettes. Your eyes are just cutting me. Nah, I can't help you out, man, sorry. Why you gotta be barking at me like that? Drink more warm milk before I go to bed. I should have listened to Dad. I should have listened to Mom. I hear if you masturbate a lot, you get hairy palms. I don't feel that way though. We're all animals that want to screw everything that walks. Kill everyone that doesn't do what we want them to do. What should I do? Should I run? What's happening? Crack! I always feel like I've been here before.
Welcome, Manage Roy, Timothy, Sigma Rodan, Jason Reed, Batman. He's back. Good old Batman. Oh, Christian Henne, Megatron. I won't make that mistake again, brother. I apologize profusely. Wolf King Sigma. To get to my place cleaned for free almost daily. Attaboy. Results Oriented is back. We got Wolf King in the house. Good to see everybody in the chat. We got our favorite Jerron Markel. Let's go. Brandon. Most of these men are pussified and blank with too much estrogen. They didn't get the memo, did they? Jerron Markel out of Brooklyn. Nick Vincent is in the house. Betty Saab is back. Good to see Betty. T-Tox is in the house. Unbanned from YouTube police until they learn to control their biology. As Hammer says, men at large will continue to fall prey to the manipulative wiles of the female fatale. There you go, brother. He has won the case his last time, but the ex not let it go. Yet apparently the crazy ex has asked her mother to fake up a story. Happens all the time. Look what's happening to Russell Brand. Well, we don't know what the story is, but 20 years later, they're coming out of the woodwork. Why didn't they come out 20 years ago? Who knows? Lots of stories out there. Not going to speculate, not want to be put in YouTube jail. I've already been there. 3 gens of males raised by single drug mothers. What do you think would go wrong? And why do men continue to sacrifice our happiness for the freedom of a woman? Programming, raised by single mothers, told they need to treat women with respect, which, hey, we treat everybody with respect, both men and women. But respect is earned. So is trust. WHO is back in the house. No money in it 20 years ago. You're probably right, brother. Probably right. Betty Saab. Blank, Kristi Noem, all so-called conservative pop leaders full of indecent behavior, extra, yeah. And she was smoking. One of them was vaping. That's disgusting. In a theater. And she should do that, at least hide it from the public. The longer you stay away from the golden V, the easier as it gets. Well said, T-Tox. Timothy says it's the money. Absolutely. John Boston chiming in from Boston. Beantown. Good to see John. He knows a thing or two about these gals. Primo Living is back. Good to see you, brother. Say on Hammers last night, my happiness wasn't priority because sacrifice is what men do. Men sacrifice because you know what? Most of us want to put other people first. We want to create and take care of a family. We will sacrifice our own happiness. And I'm talking more about, and you can't make a woman happy. Let's just get that on the table. You cannot make them happy. Simple as that. But men continue to sacrifice their life trying to think that they've got the special formula that can make them happy. You just can't. You can't make anyone happy but yourself. JLM, I do not trust the state. Well said, brother. What up, Rad? All is good. Now that everyone is here. John Boston, that was Lauren. I can't even say the last name. She should have made her marriage work. Yeah, there's a lot of these women that get into power and they just mess around. Say T's in the house. Lorena Bobbitt, attaboy. The government has my best interest at heart. I can't believe people still believe that. They still believe it. The government, all right, Megatron says it's all about health and money, or money over health, and it hurts us. Well said. John, smart men are getting their passports, building their wealth. The house will be like, we need to have a meeting. The guys that show up will be the simps. Yes, and they carry their card, their simp card, with honor. I believe men have lost their purpose in the modern era. Before women were as important as property. Now community's gone, brotherhood gone, religion gone, God gone, no more wars. All because of what? Would you say would be feminism? Being equal. The nature of women needs more exposure. I wish my dad taught and explained all this to me back when. I would have been pumping and dumping in school. Attaboy. Attaboy, Wolf King. Ant-Man the Raven. Don't bathe in the same old dirty water. Ain't that the truth? Do not bathe in your dirty suds. Michael Reitel is back. Good to see you. Tale as old as time. I just want to make my woman happy, even if it kills you. How many guys have died trying to figure that out? By stress. Death by sim. Salute Rad in chat. Coach Lamont is back. Good to see you. John Boston, men's sacrifice. I'm taking care of my kids that are now in college while my ex complains about money problems. Yeah, I'm taking care of my boy up there. These hoes will want a trillionaire, and it's still not what they want. Kick them to the curb. 300 Trebek. Ironheart's back. My taxes and insurance on my properties have gone up 30% thanks to Potato Joe. You're in Boston too. Conditioned to be providers is what we're conditioned to be. Yeah, we're conditioned not to question. We're conditioned to be men and take care of our families. The military blank CDC will make sure I am safe. They got your back, WHO. Potato Joe has got your back. Some that glitters will tarnish the gold. Megatron, well said. Jawara is back. Good to see Jawara. Russell Brand facing, yep, he sure is. The way the female brain works leads them to insolvency. There's very few women accountants that are actually good at what they do. Don't help those that hate you, says Timothy Sokol. It's not your responsibility to make anyone else happy. Ooh, isn't that truth, John? Wish people would realize that. I have a lot of old skateboard stickers that are worth some serious dough. Do I collect anything? I have some old Star Wars stuff in the boxes I got when I was 5 years old. But no, I'm not a big collector of a lot of stuff. Wolverine's set to lose his wealth. His wealth. Jeez. Gas hit $5.15, but they blame it on who do liberals and victims blame everything on? Conservative builders. You can't make another person happy. It's their choice. Happiness is unsustainable. There's nobody that's happy 100% of the time. Bill Cosby had to pay out a ton to people he didn't even know. No proof, no evidence, nothing. They just settled. It was probably cheaper to settle than continue that court battle. That's why most men will settle in court. Now, my, as well as John Boston's theme in court was you don't reward people that break families up. That was my theme. And I would go all the way to one last cent to make that happen. It's the evil albino people. When we find him, we got to get him. Handsome husbands were boring, so we became war. Got it, Betty Saab. If you're gonna collect something, make sure it has some utility. Otherwise, it'd be a waste of our time. I've got a C3PO that's like a big one in the box. I mean, I played with it, but I still got the box. I have an AT-AT that still works. I have the box, and I have an X-Wing fighter. Is menopause for women the end of sex? No, I don't think so. I mean, some women get really crazy with it, but I think menopause brings on a hormonal change. I remember watching my mom go through it. For the men who try to make their wives happy at their expense, remember the saying, it's 6 men to take you to your grave. 6 men to take you to your grave, but only 1 woman to put in there. Coach Lamont laying it down to Chinatown. 369, dang. It's 450, I think, here. Good call, Rad. I so want some Roman soldier gear, sword, and that would be cool. Actually, I have some old gold coins from like 1,000 years old. I like those. You know who voted in all of this meth? We know who voted. All these male celebs need to be worried about women now coming after them without evidence, even from 20 years. The narrative is the woman must be believed. Oh, Jason Reed from Colorado. How that is so true. I don't get why selfish, blank, nasty behavior is in fashion. Biatches are followers. Kardashians responsible. I'd say so. The way the women look today is all Kardashian. All that fake everything, the thick makeup. MGTOW mode has given me peace and clarity. Attaboy. That's the reality. We are meant. We've been conditioned to. Well, I would say in the last 70, 80 years, men have been conditioned to literally put women on pedestals. That's what we're supposed to do. Get down on a knee. Propose on a knee, which puts her on literally a pedestal. You are lower than her. And that's where it all happens. When men chase the old golden vagina and you get caught up trying to do everything. Oh, I'll be different this time. She's different. I'm going to make sure that I'm the strong man, the gentleman. How about this? I'm going to be a gentleman. You know what a gentleman means? Just a glorified term, meaning you're going to be a simp. That's all it means. We didn't learn that till later. Billy the Goat's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Check out Billy's channel. Did you and your ex have plots picked out? No, we did not, Mysterio. Nothing like that. I get a little nervous about the death industry. I had to bury her father, my father-in-law, and paid for everything, and that was just a weird experience. Who likes the mansion tax in California? Now they're going after the rich. They're selling at discount. Soon they'll be fleeing. Are they going to take California to another state? But yeah, disgusting, WHO. You kneel so she can knife you in the throat. Damn right. Women are not ready for such freedom. They imitated men's voices much faster and better than men themselves. Did you guys see that one? I think Hamster might have played it. That girl that was approached by a man in a parking lot. He said, "Excuse me, man." And she's a blonde chick. She's kind of a cute blonde chick, but she goes off on the guy. "Stay away from me. Get away." Like just going nut job. Brandon Trueblood is back. Thirsty men sacrifice for today's woman folk. Don't be a slave to your biology. For 300, Trebek. Good to see Brandon. Cruising in the 18-wheeler, delivering us our simp products. Her song says, "I was young once." If only women would understand what that means, that everything they do is based on that. Rad, you really think there is still a country, or is it just an oligarchy corporate banking job? We're just getting fooled. Maybe a country for them and not us. I just think we're at the end of civilization. I think it's just a shit show now. DM's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Good to see DM, another one of my wrenches. I saw this woman who got purple hair extensions, big nails, and big snuffleupagus eyelashes. She's trying to hide that. She's a big booty Tamika. Yes. I got a boyfriend. Manasseh says, what's the saying again? Men have 2 funerals, the day they die and their wedding day. Couldn't be more closer to the truth with that, Manasseh. Good to have you. They apply foundation with a trolling machine and eyeliner with a caulk gun. Yes, they do. Ain't that the truth? Next time you're at the doctor's house, tell them you have a boyfriend. There you go. Simp to me equals going along with a woman no matter the situation and not challenging her. And it's not telling her no. That's really what it comes down to. No, I'm not going to do this. No, I'm not paying for that. I am who just did some work on the ATVs with my oldest son. How are you? Good for you. ATVs are cool. Looking at a singlehood and marriage age, I think most of the men have already given up. What we see are simply simps left. You're absolutely right, brother. Well said, Betty. Teddy Boy Smith is in the house. Good to see you. Attention is her currency and her drug of choice. We in a country, but it's not ours. Do you really have a say? Well, what happened in 2020? Was your voice heard? Big booty Tamika. That is a Greg Adams. What do you call that? Reference. Did you manage to see Rival Sons this past? I didn't, unfortunately, brother. I did not make it. I think I was out of town. I see at least one such creature working at the fast food. Oh, there's so many of those blue-haired, purple-haired. A wedding is a funeral with a cake and an open bar. And you're alive for your own funeral, right? Teddy Boy Smith says, I thought about getting married, but decided I wanted a happy life. Ooh, that would be a great title for a book. We might be living in two worlds, one for them in the fake femme-dominated media, and then our worlds. I think you're right. I think you're right, Wolf. They're putting makeup on with bricklayer trowels. Now see it at the weekend. You're absolutely right, man. Simp Nation is what it is. John Boston says, rather simple married the 300-pounder just celebrated their 1 year. Wow, I got sick thinking about her naked. She still has rejected inspection stickers on her Hyundai Accent. She got a picture over her check engine light. She got a boot on the wheel. She got crumbs. She got Captain Crunch in her on the floorboards. We need to hire exorcist priest to go on dates with us now. There you go. BJ Fornash, simping everywhere. You look. Good to see you, BJ. In-N-Out versus Sonic in Utah. In-N-Out, 100%. Much better. Most men don't realize they're the ones selling in relationships, settling. Work on yourself and watch your options get better and better. It's not funny as in the house. Good to see you, brother. Western men have become exiles in their own nation. I'm an immigrant myself, and my heart bleeds to see such tragedy. Saint T, remember, the brighter the color they have, the more toxic they are, just like the snakes. So many blue hair goblin clowns, and they angry. She a goofy. Let's see what we got. I'm stuck in the petting zoo with no gates. There you go, Timothy. I think marriage is really to rear children. If you're not going to have kids, why bother? Mysteria, well said, but now it's too risky. It's too risky. Rad, the cats have died. Well, maybe she spent all their money for their food on her food. How are your sons doing in college? My son called me last week, and he's already flown and landed the Cessna a few times in his aviation career. I'm proud of him. I feel bad for these younger guys today. They are being bombarded with programming and brainwashing that the ladies should be worshipped, and they ain't shit. You're right, man. You're right, brother. Well said, Jason. Any guys in here who has crypto Bitcoin, be prepared to pull out profit in the year 2020. Pull profit out in the year 2024. Get ready to be millionaires. Laying some financial advice down. Jerome Markel, I'm slowly learning how to drive on American roads, thanks to you. We don't drive on the opposite side. Some of us guys are truly blessed being able to begin again like Scrooge after seeing all three ghosts. I was lucky, man. I got out 43. Do I have to marry to come to the States sooner? You got to get you a 90-day fiance visa. Then you can come. The average middly cute, slightly overweight girl will have a queue of simps waiting for her. The male equivalent is invisible. Ain't that the truth? When I grew up, the heavy women were invisible. In my school, Massachusetts is spending $45 million a month for illegals. What a cluster. Guys, once you open the borders, it's over. Go look at Rome, what they did. Well, You don't want to be called abusive, Teddy boy. Let's have a MGTOW rad party. We need to organize something. It would be cool to meet some of you men. I met a few. Scotty Side stayed with me. Rev stayed with me. Brandon Trueblood. Ike. Who else have I met? Timmy Kramer. USDA just ordered 2 mil and 40 calorie blank. Be aware, gents. Coming after. Keep like my attorney said, keep your nose clean. I would say that. Appreciate that, JLM. Block and ignore works. Just focus and accomplish your stuff. That's the issue. Let's remove women from pedestals and work on ourselves. Simping isn't easy. When we realize the more we give, the less we get, that should tell you the investment does not pay off, ever. Crypto will explode in 2025. My bag of cryptos are full. Rad bought his crypto a long time ago. Let's go, Brandon. I'm seeing companies really struggling. I'm hoping the market tanks so I can short the market like he did in 2022. Jim King in the house. I haven't seen Jim for a while. Done my ex 5 weeks ago. Just found out today she got 2 new cats. I've lost 8 pounds and spent way more time with family and friends. I do miss the sex, though. They're only superpower. Good to have you, Jim. Well, I'm glad that you are finding that life can go on even better. Obese 35-year-old with 3 kids is on every dating app to find her Prince Charming to build an empire. What am I missing here? Delusion for 300, Betty. You think all those cows will kill themselves, or the ranchers? They want us eating crickets and bugs. I don't understand why they're doing that. Why do they need all that information? You think a cow is going to approach them? And they're wackos. Let's see. Let's go. Brandon says, so did anyone see that black scammer who was a liar, a black female scammed other black females by lying? I didn't see that. I'll have to check that out. Ishii Banks in California. Would you get an LTR if there was an incentive? If it didn't work, get rewarded for your time, a financial incentive? I'm sure a lot of guys have asked that question, Ishii. Never be friends with a chick. Don't get married. R.I.P. to Venture. Don't get married. My internet's a little slow, I think. My crazy ex reached out yet again. Break between the plowings. Yep. She's taking a break from the CC. She wants a little bit of Wolf King. Being close friends with a girl is cowardly and the biggest form of simping. With regards to your topic, MRAD, I think many men are still stuck in the conditioning and programming they received since birth. They are not yet enlightened by our great philosophy. Well said, D-Man. 100% agree with it. That is why men continue to sacrifice and to re-enter bad contracts, which would be a second, third, or fourth marriage. I only give my money and efforts to my children, says John Boston. My kids are my beneficiaries as well. And I help them with school. There you go. Why is it that most divorces actually make a man's life better? He doesn't have to deal with the stress anymore. Don't cohabitate. Don't have kids. Michael Reitel says, women say I'm selfish because I'm always focusing on myself and don't want to share my resources with them. Now, just put yourself first. Jerking off with pride is for better than banging disastrous, disrespectful blank. An old man gave me this advice way before I understood way too late. Betty Saab. Well, same thing in that movie with Ben Stiller. What was it called? There's something about Mary. He said, don't go out with a loaded gun. There you go. Let's see what we got here. I will wait for the 375-pound woman with 4 kids and 3 different daddies. Dudes are hitting that stuff. They're hitting all sorts of heavies. Marriage is self-blank. It's definitely, you're deleting yourself out of personal progress. Definitely. Biometric scans, personal data, and you will be a digital slave. Klaus Schwab for 300, Trebek. Why is divorce so expensive? Because it's worth it. There's a Tom Likas quote there. Rad, what do you think of the mandatory blank testing that passed the floor in Tennessee? Do you see it going any further? I think that's great. Is that the one where you got to make sure that that kid's yours? I think all states should do that. Some days there will be a time when no prince will come. Just hibernating in their caves. You're probably right, Mega. Women are rewarding for breaking marriage. Oh, of course they are. That's why my theme was they are not rewarded. She does not get rewarded. That's not the first time she's been black. She slapped 2 white guys and created. Well, isn't that the same that happened at Duke University with that lacrosse team? If you want to say that, tell them to share their money. How much do we value their attention? If there was a stock for women's attention, we should all invest in it. Rad, how much are you playing your guitar today versus when you were married? Oh, a shit ton more. Oh, no question. 10 times more. Did your parents like your ex? My dad thought she was never liked us. She never liked our family. Probably right. You bring a woman aboard a spaceship, she drills holes in it. That is your life. Oh, man. You guys are funny. You're killing it. Let's see what we got here. No smart man will invest in an appreciating asset. It's funny how so many guys will just get back into contracts that are not good. Do not date, cohabitate, marry, or have unwanted children, says Saint. Control your biology. Give them nothing. The only cause of divorce is marriage. Well said, JLM. House husband is the biggest form of simpery. No, a bunch of them. No, my brother's one of them. Wait for the digital currency. Look what happened with the Canadian truckers. I think you're right. I think you're right, brother. Let's see. Instagram is her obsession. Absolutely. What benefits do I get in marriage if they don't get by having 5 girlfriends? That's what people are asking themselves. People are leaving society basically. I can't get ahead. I can't take care. I don't get anything. It's a horrible return on investment. Glad more men are figuring this out. Went to a bar with 10 years older woman last week. She's an RM making decent money, yet half the time she kept bitching about money and wants someone to take care of her. 51-year-old divorced woman. No surprise. My ex was a nurse. Iron Heart. Dinner is ready. Good to see you. Sacred Smoke is in the house. Thank you for everything you do, Rad. Appreciate you being here as well, brother. We do this to help others. Crypto can be shut off with a flip of a... That's the only thing that gets me a little nervous. If you 10 dick a hoe, they always come back. Girls who take selfies are red flags. Teddy Boy Smith laying it down at Chinatown today. You're absolutely right. I'm better off investing in a Philippine chick or an Eastern European chick. I think the laws are different over there for sure. I am devastated and will never recover from the trauma, to be honest. But the only solace I get, hopefully I can guide my sons better. We need to make men more. We men need to take more responsibilities. Well said, Betty. You'll get over it. Boy, the way, Rad, you're awesome, dude. Thanks for all you do for us, guys. Well, thank you for everybody for being here and all your comments and chats. This is great. I learned so much from you guys. When I was moving my kids back to college, all I saw were single moms moving their kids in. They look lost. Well, guess what? You're not supposed to be alone. You're supposed to raise kids together. They don't get it. Do they, John? Romantic relationships are like running the 400-meter hurdles blindfolded. We just have 2 different brains, guys. At the end of the day, the red pill just says women have an emotional brain, men have a logical brain. To come together for a long-term forever ain't going to work. We're just too far. And now with society and programming and the Kardashians and makeup and technology and media, it's over. All relationships expire. Nurses are some of the biggest 304s. I know a lot of nurses. Oh, they sure are, Coach. They sure are, brother. Attention is their drug and accountability is their kryptonite. Well said, Timothy. You know, it's funny, when I did the dating apps, if there was a nurse, I always swiped right, which was, I wanted, because I knew they were such sluts. Let's go, Brandon. I have a friend of mine who wants to meet a Filipino woman. But then if you marry a Filipino, you marry their family. You have to take care of the family too. I tell my sons, women are programmed to lie and manipulate. Be aware, Wolf King. I think that's in the majority, 98% of women right there. I mean, we all tell little white lies, right? You going to tell the girl that she's fat, that she doesn't look good in that dress? You might, but most people won't. Join that Walmart dating website, but I'm not very happy with it. They sent me a bag for life. Itchy Banks, 80% of the country lives paycheck to paycheck, and the other 20 has like $4,000. Yeah, make sure you guys have stacked cash enough to live on 6 months to a year, have skills, build fires, learn how to repair things. Do you know how to repair a washer or a dryer? You could set up a side hustle. Yeah, I know you're not certified appliance guy. You can fix people's stuff for cheap and charge 150, 200 bucks. A Walmart dating app. Can you imagine that? I would be willing to watch that 400-meter run blindfolded. My ex-wife wanted to have a rich lawyer after she made me homeless in the wheelchair. 1 year she is still single, and I gave my credit card to get some food for the kids. She bought snacks for a homeless man. No surprise, Betty. It doesn't matter. You're in a wheelchair, and it's unfortunate that you were treated that way. But we're here for you. She's not fat. She's slim, thick. She's fluffy. She's a fluffy. If I crash the economy, lockdowns again, that means I can control 80% of the population. Boy, how is that a narrative that seems to be playing out? David Smith is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Good to see our brother David. Walmart dating, only crusty shizzle in pajamas. Go to a Walmart. Look how well women take care of themselves. I was on a plane a couple weeks ago, and these women, well, they were young, probably 23, 24, in pajamas, no makeup, shit in their face, fishing tackle, weird hair, just disgusting, just absolutely disgusting. A lot of hot girls I knew in their early 20s are all single because they can't lock down Chad or Brad or Brandon. They're not interested in Steve, Chris, and Mike. Well, guys, the level of delusion is so high, you can't build a ladder to get there. You can't get scaffolding to get their delusion. It's too far gone. They won't shut down the Bitcoin to say that to scare people into submission. This is why you need to pull out. That's what she said. Slam Cave is back. Good to see Slam. Check out Slam's channel as well. When you have had more money than a dozen, you see the similarities. Well said. Women are not looking anymore. Or if they are looking, they put little like, deal. I've been looking. I'm done with dating. And then, 2 weeks later, they're back looking. Fathers do a lot of shit jobs too with their sons. Most are simps, and despite having such a miserable breakup in marriage and divorces, still don't equip their kids properly in the world. I would say so. I tried to change that by taking my kids on fun trips, adventurous trips, the boys, shooting guns, riding bicycles up the hill. But you're right. There's D-Man's channel, thanks, or Slam's channel. It's always something happening at Walmart. You know what the great thing about Walmart is? People watching. Love it. When I landed in Boston, I see all these fat women, beta males, and they all look so unkept. Don't these people know what a shower is? But ugly's the new beautiful, John. Slim thick is just what fat females say to make her feel better. Remember, facts are opinions to them when it doesn't make them feel good. Feelings over facts. Facts over feelings. That's the whole voting block today. We don't run on petroleum. We run on feelings in this country, in Canada. That's what we run on. That's the political bloodline. Feelings. And conservatives run on facts, but the facts don't seem to be winning lately. Flash, their AK hose, the question is, what you willing to pay? Well said, brother. Fool me once. Good to catch you live. Route, I'm taking a reset break at a truck stop in Topeka, going to the Evel Knievel Museum. Evel Knievel. Remember when he tried to jump the Grand Canyon? I had an Evel Knievel doll. Good to see you, fool me, and be safe out on the road, brother. You and Brandon and Batman all driving trucks. My 9-year-old listens to your videos, Rad. I think I am on the right track. Well, shout out to your 9-year-old boy. Hopefully it sticks. Women post resumes on dating apps and want resumes back. They're looking for business partnership, not marriage. Well said, Saint. Women love differently. You know what they love? They love your wallet, they love your status, and they love your attention. They just don't love you. 98%. Females are so blank, they will argue that rain ain't wet and the sun ain't hot. Well said, Brandon. Don't be a sad sack of shiz. So we used to say in the Navy. There you go. Apparently, I have to be in Chicago in a couple weeks for this long damn convention at Navy Pier. 8 years single, and it'll help my boy because I didn't have a revolving door in my life. Slam, you're a great dad, man. I know it gets challenging being the only one, but Give yourself a break. Let mom and dad take care of your little boy every now and again. Is the sun hot? Their delusion is big enough to build a huge Lucifer metaverse. There's not enough scaffolding to get to their delusion. Too much rain here in the CT. Can't wait to bust out my Frankie Hill. Frankie Hill for 300. The long rails or the long handrail slides that he used to do and the big stair gaps. He was the original that got. He's the one that literally took skateboarding to big heights, especially in street. They should just replace their bedroom door with a turnstile. T-Talks. And status, says WHO. The sun in the winter isn't hot. They should just replace, here in California, they are boiling like it's on fire. There you go. T-Talk says, they should just replace their bedroom door with, I just said that. Sorry, guys. All right. John Boston says, I met this woman and was talking to her. After a few minutes, she was like, what do you do? I said, I do a lot of things. I do a lot. What do you do for work? She says, I can't tell you. She does a lot because it's huge. 40-plus-year-old with OnlyFans accounts. What a sad, miserable life their kids are having, especially sons. No dignity, no moral, no principles. And it seems to be a lot of these gals have OnlyFans now, especially celebrity women in their 50s. Study at Oxford show that if your wife is more than 7 bodies before marriage, you are 22% more likely to contract hepatitis C, and it jumps 76% if she slept with a black man. Interesting. Shit cargo is getting worse here. I'm having trouble finding work. Sacred smoke. Well, hang in there, brother. Navy Pier is a fun place to go, hopefully, before it gets cold. You flying into O'Hare? I'm going to try not to, but most likely I do because I'm a Delta guy. And I've been to Navy Pier. It's a pretty cool place. Windy as hell. Hey, he did. He always went big, Frankie O. Yes, he did. He still skates. Yeah, no, he left the whole scene because he broke his knee or something. He became a dental technician. Invest in box wine, cat food, and pharmaceuticals. Isn't there a wine called Vinovest, or I think it's an app. Vinovest. The sun is hot in the winter. But overall, it is. Yeah, it is too damn hot sometimes. I think men have adapted very well, for the most part, to parenting solo. Women's, on the other hand, not so much. Well, I think women look at parenting now, the majority, that it's a burden. Minimize your investment. Attaboy. I went to boot camp. Great mistakes. Illinois. There you go. Great Lakes. There you go. Scotty Side, our Giga Chat, is in the house. Good to see Scotty hanging out with the Radster last weekend. Can't believe it's been over a week since you left. All you men out there, do you not adopt the John Fetterman wardrobe? What an idiot that guy is, isn't he? Just wish there was more male daycare centers, better hours and understanding. We should start a male daycare center. Women are not good parents. They don't teach kids how to survive and thrive in this world. They sacrifice kids' happiness because they are not happy and love their hobbies. Well said, Betty. I told my boy about the canoe analogy, and he said, it's okay because he knows how to swim. Good for him. He's going to be the one that bails out first. Business shorts and a top. Amazing the amount of damage single mothers have caused, and they have lifted up as being so valuable. And the courts are behind it. Kids, especially boys, need men. But guess what? It's the prison industrial complex. The more single mothers means the more customers later in life in the good old penitentiary. You're absolutely right, Jason Reed. Let's go, Brandon. Rad, since you play guitar, what do you think about the Lydian and Mixolydian modes? Pretty cool stuff, brother. Anything that's got a funky sound, I love. So do I, Mr. Who. We have a long way to go to get to the balance back. Yes, we do, man. Yes, we do. Dress up for Halloween as a big-ass dick with balls. There you go. There's Scotty Side's channel. Every Friday, Scotty's doing live stream with Ike, 6 p.m. Pacific. Russell Brand has been accused of the Me Too. Me 2.0. Right? Slam K says learn scales. Oh, by the way, I just read a great book, came out 10, 12 years ago. Duff McKagan, It's So Easy and More Lies, talks about relationships, his addiction. Great book about Guns N' Roses, the original Guns N' Roses, LA Guns. He hung out with Dr. Dre and Tupac and all the Eazy-E. Like when he went, it was crazy. You guys got to read the book by Duff McKagan. Voting is just the adult version of writing Santa Claus a letter. Change my mind. Raised by single mothers, medicated at 9, have pity on the young sin. You know, it's unfortunate those little boys have to deal with that. It really is. And it's not their fault. Most likely the woman kicked the man out of the house. And there are prick dudes. There are douchebag dudes that leave, that gamble, that destroy everything. And there's probably a lot of them. But for those that just get bored and leave their husband, it doesn't help kids. You're absolutely right, Jerron. Something's going on. Run DMC. Peter Piper. That was a great song. My Adidas. My high school sweetheart's daughter has an OnlyFans page. Glad I swerved around that mess. Wow. Interesting. They just opened a Spirit Halloween near me, going to get me a single mom for a slow Tuesday. Attaboy, John. Get a cat lady. Wolverine is parting ways with his wife. What chance do you or I have? Is that Hugh Jackman? His wife was not attractive, by the way. Johnny Rotten is a good read, too. He was working class and poor as hell, had good parents. I got to read his book. I'm a huge Sex Pistols fan and love the fact, and NPIL as well. So there you go. Public Image Limited. Let's go, Brandon. After watching the election summit that Mike Lindell did, I don't want to vote anymore. Our votes don't matter. You know, I was thinking about that too. It doesn't matter. I mean, machines will just turn it. Our votes don't. It's a fallacy, especially digital voting. Now I can't even blame douchebags anymore. Who chose them? Isn't it bad boy vibes women have? We men are accountable. Avoid them. I would agree with that statement, you know? Is Brand a shill for the elite? Good question, Teddy boy. He's from the UK, as you are. When the teachers join the students' OnlyFans, I wonder how many teachers are on OnlyFans, women teachers, like 3rd and 4th grade teachers. With my kid's mom, I believe the abuse story, no questions, never again. There you go. Didn't really know. I thought it was me picking on Ike. You guys are fine. There's not very many beefs with our groups. Martha Stewart bikini issue failed. You know, I did see that. That was very interesting. What do you guys think of what happened with the Pebble and Okra fail free with the whole, the Rock, I see what you mean, Rock and Harpo? I think something's weird. I think that is all weird. I think I'm going to agree with the conspiracies. If I wonder if the used tubes will take that off if you begin to talk about the island of Hawaii that had a substantial amount of fire damage. I bet they're going to start misinformation that. But I do not believe the government response. Did you see how they wanted to take Texas and Florida to get the steel, but they didn't do it because nobody would believe Potato won Texas and Florida? He didn't win. He, as Trump said, he campaigned out of his basement, hiding Biden. Such a shameless society never existed before. Roman Empire during its ending days was bad, but I don't think this is much degenerate. Oh, Rome, yeah, you might be right, but the Roman Empire crumbling was horrible. The corporate nonsense and culture they're pushing everywhere is nauseating rad. The newcasters seem like hypocrites. Oh, they're idiots. Well said, Wolf. Can't stand any of them. Fake news. Movement to promote Sharon Stone and older women has failed. Yeah, there was that movement, Jawara, and they're still pushing it. Oh, look at her, 58 in a bikini. Timmy Kramer, the forever bachelor, freedom and Coors Light in San Diego. Or as Ron Burgundy says, Wells, Vagina. Rad, your explanation of how chemicals work was a game changer. You get the same amount of chemicals when your favorite sports team wins. Scotty says, I think men sacrifice their entire lives because, one, it's part of our nature to provide and protect, and two, it just means these men don't have options. And that right there, guys, is the whole response to why I posted that. Programming and options. Nothing like Marcus Stewart bent over a table. Or who's the other one? Paula Deen. Let's see. Maybe men are just too afraid nowadays that they are continuing to sacrifice their happiness and freedom for women. Yeah, they could be, or they don't want. As Scotty said, they don't have options. Man that has options can do whatever the hell he wants. I think you're right, Timothy. I'm not going to say that, but I think you're right. I think it's happening. I mean, some weird stuff. Voting is just like when I audition for Broadway shows. It's already predetermined. The show is already cast. They have to conduct the audition due to law. You don't really have a voice. It sounds like high school sports, too. They're all friggin', it's all a scam. Potato Joe stole. Yes, he did. He did. I would agree with that statement, Joara. I would agree with that 100%. John says I can show liberal men the F curve and how they stole the election, and they'll get defensive and yell at me. They cannot deal with the media. Well, they're women with penises, those liberal men. It's basically what they're. MGTOW Outlaws back. Check out MGTOW Outlaws channel. Good to see you, brother. Hopefully, this time, everyone who voted for Trump, and if it wasn't elected, will take to the street. I think something potentially could happen to him. It was brought up on Tucker, and which would mean his mortal coil might be extinguished. And if that's the case, I think that scenario is right, and I think the case is if something happens to him physically. What's your assessment of the current property market? It's out of control. It's out of control. The young guys I feel for, when I was out in the Navy, I was hitting old ladies with the boner from my car. Control your biology. There you go, brother. Staying strong when rubbing elbow when my son's single. I wonder how many of those single ladies like Mr. Slam Cave. Women is not an option anymore. Save money and fortify your bunkers, brothers. Yeah, focus on yourself. It's the best thing to do. What Trump can do, maybe slow down a bit, but he didn't go after his opponent, and there is a lesson in there. Was talking to a teacher, her response, he can't do anything, we won't oblige. Well, I think even then, he's got to watch himself, unfortunately. Doesn't Zuckerberg Sim own a lot of Hawaii? Yes, he does. There's Outlaws channel. Appreciate that, brother. Roses are red, Kamala ain't black, Joe has dementia, and Hunter's on crack. Truth! Top 10 cities decide who our president is. Exactly. Actually, 5 states. Utah never matters. Never matters. The inflation we have caused a 23-fold in interest. This inflation, thanks to Potato. We as men will have to take the country back. We got to do something. There's no way he wins Texas or Florida. You're absolutely right. I would hopefully, God forbid that, Brandon. I think they want to, but the backlash would be more than they could handle, in my opinion, said David Smith. Yeah, I would agree with that statement. The thing is, men cannot unite as long as there's food on the table, Wi-Fi, electricity working, and hot water is on. Comfort, you're absolutely right, Betty. Once the comfort goes, that's when people start realizing. But when it's comfy, it's easy, no one's going to do very much. Disengage, detach, and monk under the radar and do you. And that's you. That's right. We had a 23-fold in interest rates, fastest in history. Biden inflation caused this. I'm concerned about this. Many companies are going to fail. Rates are higher than bottom line of many companies. Just, do you guys know if you count to 1 trillion, like if you count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it'd take you 33,000 years to count to 1 trillion. Are all the elites blank? Probably. Adrenochrome. You can also find MRAD here. Appreciate that. I am on Rumble, and a lot of those videos are now coming over. Just got Suede's first album. Suede's not too bad. The Beautiful Ones is a great song. All the stuff I have heard about Potato and his family are disgusting. Just full of lies, and nobody gives a damn. I mean, the media doesn't report on it. Again, simps are going to run to his rescue. Women stand by him because, behind Potato Joe is a court system that's in favor of the ladies. Reasons why the Revolutionary soldiers were so effective was they were already burned out by the British. Meaning they had nothing to lose. Absolutely. When you have nothing to lose, you lose it. Will we see something in this country like that one guy, the Wagner Group? Will we see something like that? Maybe. But apparently he died in a helicopter crash or something. It's more like wait and watch now. There were 74 million who voted for Trump. That is more than the population of most countries. Maybe it's time to consider. It could be. Maybe the U.S. splits up in different states. I did read an article about that a few years ago. It was in like 4 different countries out of the U.S. There's a liberal country, conservative, and so forth. I saw Suede in Boston. They were awesome. Manic Street Preachers. Ooh, Manic Street Preachers. I haven't heard them for a while. That's cool. Wasn't Biden a truck driving miner who was a soldier who was an astronaut and then served in Congress for 47 years? And he has a ton of money. Go figure. Where does he get all his money? Institutions that are being run by women. Take the power back. It'll solve more than half the current issues. There you go. Shout out to Gem Power. Good to see Gem Power. Gem Power, you got to tell us where you're from. Any new people, I need to know where you're from. All mainstream media is bought and paid, and I don't watch it or read it. It's definitely cucked for sure. Well said, Nick. Suede's latest record, Autofiction, is great. Suede's a good band. The FEMA camps are in place. The feds are arming bookkeepers. Get light, fast, and dangerous when it hits. Be prepared. That's another red pill philosophy. Be prepared. Be debt free. Have skills. West is still infested by simps. They sustain this whore. Yes, they do, Ironheart. Shout out to Gem Power. Good for you to be in the chat. Rad, should I buy property? If it's my best option, I have, but maybe not. It depends if you get a good deal, but I think prices are really high. Women care when their sons stand to be me too'd, even though maybe not. Yeah, women. That's when typically women care about their boys or something. Democrats want a different candidate. Don't understand. It's not the man. It's the agenda. It's the left. Has anybody seen the different pictures of Joe Biden? I'm telling you, the guy's a clone. There's a couple body doubles out there. Seen the Manic Street people in Glastonbury. They're not too shabby. Here's how the female mind works. COVID hits and they immediately run out to hoard all the toilet paper. You know what? That's funny because my ex did that. Teddy boy, buy multi-unit rental properties as your first real estate deal. Well said, John. Loved all the Britpop stuff in art school. The Bullseye, the mod stuff. You can't believe anything anymore. They are all in it together. Well, absolutely. I mean, the media is liberal. Both parties are evil. However, conservatives didn't create the KKK. The KKK took my baby away. It was the demon rats. Yeah. Well, Democrats were the original slave owners too. Bring that up to a liberal. I predict a crash by election time. Timmy Kramer, he's in real estate. Prices are high because the U.S. dollar is weak. Yeah, even in Mexico, it's like 25% less you get for your money there. Simon Cowell has been cloned as well. Jen Power has been here before. New Jersey. I think I remember that. I'll always be proud black conservative, and I love Trump. Get back on the plantation, Jerron Markell. Isn't that what they told Kanye and Kyrie? Because they wouldn't take the yip yap. Get back on the plantation. That's right, Gerald. Montana, KKK took my baby away. I love the Ramones. Good to see you, brother. I saw women lining up to pick up makeup at the Ulta Beauty during COVID when they came out with earrings. I bought calls, and the next day they went up 7-fold. How about the GameStop? Remember the GameStop deal? The guy they raised the GameStop quote? I think they did, John. I didn't go this year. Demon rats are the true blanks. Yeah. They want everybody to be controlled. They don't believe in freedom. They want to control your feelings. If you don't follow their train of thought and their narrative by speaking the way they speak in their own terms, you're now evil. What do you think? Ty M's back. Good to see you, brother. What do you guys think about the economy and the direction it's going? Is Bitcoin going to 10K? How can you confidently invest in this climate? I am a believer that Bitcoin's going to drop to 10 and then it's going to go through the roof. I think it's going to shoot up. I think we haven't hit. What was it, 16? What, the beginning of the year? Love the Exploited, Wolf King. Great band. They're touring too. No more Plantation for this black man. I know too much. I read too much. I research. They don't like me much, and I'm fine with that. You know, it's funny. There's so many great black content creators that are way conservative, smart as hell, and everybody thinks like because of the color of your skin, you should be stupid and, you know, a follower. It's just, I listen to Jericho or what the hell is that? Jericho? What's his name? Jericho Green, right? Or Jeremiah Green. Jericho Green. I mean, Greg Adams is great stuff. There's a lot of great black guys that are conservative. They speak the truth, and it goes from there. I shorted GME and AMC several times. I'm looking to short Wayfair. When the market tumbles, just a bunch of libtard skittles working there. Ain't that true, Wayfair? People are calling this time the silent depression because the value of the dollar is lower than it was during the depression. Adjusted for inflation, I don't think it'll get better. Scotty's not wrong here. Your best hedge against inflation is your skill set and your mindset. It's as simple as that. What do they say about gold? I mean, I own gold, but is gold manipulated the market? I would say it is. Cash in hand, far better than wealth on plastic. Timothy, well said, brother. Let's go. Brandon said this is why they want men stupid. They want men to subjugate to the vagina. They want us to put the golden vagina on a pedestal. That takes us off our purpose and our direction. Men's Daily Advice is back. Good to see you, brother. Check out his channel as well. I never had a mullet, Wolf. My hair was always, I bleached it and it was long. Skater look. Women do not know what is freedom. Well, they believe that freedom is in the hands of the government and that they believe the government is the best predictor of your freedom. So they'll give all their rights away because the government's going to take care of them. Here in North Carolina, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a half a dozen conservatives. There's some good conservative states out there. Good damn morning, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Yeah, he's got good stuff. He's smart. He's funny. He lays it down. There's Men's Daily Advice channel. Thanks, brother. What's some good fragrances for men? Well, there's one called Calvin Klein CK1. It's got that special stuff in it that attracts women. I think that. There's a Christian Dior one, and there's like 3 or 4 men's cologne that have a specific pheromone in it that attracts it. Go read about it. I mean, if you're interested in that. Wayfair is bleeding money and it's discretionary spending. I can see it falling by 50% or more. What about the dollar store? Women need a better fart from Andre the Giant these days. A beer fart. Oh, I watched this show on Netflix. Great, and he seemed like a nice guy. Couldn't even fly on an airplane. They had to put a damn curtain around Andre the Giant in a bucket so he could take a leak. He had to poop in a bathtub because a toilet would not hold him. And apparently, he could drink a case of wine in 2 hours and wouldn't even be drunk. Yeah, the stories. Go watch that documentary. Biden said there was a song called Good Morning Vietnam. I couldn't stop laughing. He's such a potato. Potato Joe. Well said, JB. Ralph Lauren romance works every time. There you go. T-Tox, I'm checking out your part of the country next summer. My sister and her husband are moving to North Carolina. Go where the conservatives are. That's what I think that's the best hedge against potential calamity. You can buy pheromone soap for the picky. Oh, Richard Cooper, that's right. My cologne is called Cheap Bastard. Come on, Timmy, you're wearing Stetson because it's only $7.99 at Walmart. My dad got me Stetson in high school, and I wore it. I didn't know any different. Mr. Palmer, the lead attorney, Minister Jap, JLP, Darius, Manosphere highlights, so many great. Absolutely. Absolutely. T-Tox, you bought yours in 2015. I bought mine in 2013. You're just ahead of me. I think I paid just a little under. Every time Biden speaks, I can see Benny Hill tapping him in the head repeatedly. He a goofy. There you go. Let's ask Brandon. Dior Sauvage. That's it. Cartier and Versace. Interesting. I think the Dior Sauvage, or however you say it, is one of that came out during. Was that the one that Steve McQueen? I think that was the Steve McQueen one. Don't go to Cambridge, Mass. If you want to escape the libtards. I hope they drop 10,000 illegals on. Drop them on Martha Stewart's front door. Or John Kerry's. So does anybody here support Callie? What? Call? He's been deleted probably 9 times. I don't know who that is. Date Night Secret. CK1 came out in the 90s, but it's got that little pheromone in it. There's like 3 or 4 of them that do, and apparently it gets the gals turned on. Who knows? I don't think it worked for me, but confidence is your number one attractor to the ladies. Is Martha Stewart a Republican? I don't know that. But maybe we can dump them all on John Kerry's front yard. You know, he can take care of them. But the reality is, why do men continue to sacrifice programming and they have no options? Programming says you need to do that. You need to take care. Your happiness is not important except hers and the kids. Or even a woman. Men will do everything in their power to spend more money, to show them they care more. But remember, a woman is in love with 3 things. She's in love with your wallet. She's in love with your status. She's in love with your attention. But is she in love with you? That is the $1 million question. Soap and hot water works for me. Don't give a F what women think or want. There you go. That sounds nice. You know what the biggest issue that they've said about men were that women were turned off on? And I read an article, I don't know, 5 years ago, was their hygiene. They didn't brush their teeth or they looked unkept. And if men could just take a shower, cut their hair, be trimmed up, maybe make their teeth look nicer instead of nasty, that would give them actually a 60% edge in getting to the bedroom with a potential suitor. Dior Sauvage came out in 2012, and Johnny Depp is now the spokesman. That's right. There was one that Steve McQueen pushed in the 60s, and I think it was a Christian Dior one. Or Asa. Isn't there another one? Maybe there's another one. It's just about time to get off this damn computer and go for a walk in the nature park. I need to decompress. Absolutely. I think I'm going to go ride my bike or walk here in a second. But you guys have been great. It's been a great stream. Wonderful comments, wonderful chats from a great brotherhood. We are the future of peace, quiet, and freedom. And we help others at all times in all places through the chats and through the comments on these videos and other videos of all content creators in our chat and others. Dress as a vagina with 40 impaled dicks in it for Halloween. Or you can dress as the Sperminator. I knew a guy that dressed up as a Sperminator. Go figure. Let that wrap around your head. You guys have been great. I'm out. Rebel against defeat, chase excellence, masculinity, and men first.